Welcome to the Soul Lounge. I am the Lady DJ, and I am thrilled to have this next artist here with me today. She is one of the most phenomenal voices. In fact, she has one of my favorite voices, and she has a new EP out, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and her musical journey. I can check one name off my bucket list because Navasha Daya is here inside the Soul Lounge. Hey, Navasha, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good. I am so glad to finally be able to sit across from you because I discovered you. Look, I discovered you for myself way back in like 1999, 2000. I was living in Baltimore and I went to an event and you were with Fertile Ground, the group Fertile Ground at the time. And instantly I fell in love with your voice. And that doesn't happen very often. I thought to myself, you know, that's someone who has really been at this for a while to perfect your craft to the point where instantly someone can go, I am a fan. So I'm assuming that is the case, that you've been around for a minute. Yeah.
Well, I started singing I started singing as a child, definitely. My mother told me, told her she was flat when I was 4. I don't remember that at all, but that's the kind of ear I had. I was always singing. And then at 10, I had my first professional gig with a group I was singing with from elementary school. And we sung the national anthem at the Indians game in 4-part harmony. And then it was really exciting because we got, we rode there in the limo and all that. And then at 13, I started performing and getting paid with my father's reggae band. I was roots reggae band from age 13 to 18. So I've been I had great teachers, starting off with my parents. And then I had great school teachers and a lot of opportunities as a child and young person to perform and to get better. And I listened to a lot of the greats as well.
Greats like?
Ella Fitzgerald, Phyllis Hyman, Eda Baker. I definitely was influenced by Whitney Houston. I love Michael Jackson, Minnie Riperton, Shaka Khan, Sarah Vaughan. Like, it was just, it's just so many people. And my teachers would introduce people to me, and then you would listen to people on the radio and just imitate their voices and things like that.
The vocalist, the great vocalist, because that's what you are. Like, you're a vocalist. You got that really strong voice, which we don't hear very much anymore. I mean, I've had a couple of them in here, but, we've got stylists and singers, but to actually, like, you can feel it, like it's here, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, one of the things I think that sets you apart, in addition to just having such a strong voice, is that there seems to be a lot of spirit and sort of experience behind your music, and you can hear a lot of that in the new EP, Rebirthed Above Ground, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Again, I have to assume that is something that you were raised around, that was part of who you were coming up. Because you have a very famous and influential relative. Yes. Gil Scott-Heron.
Yes.
And he was your cousin.
Yeah, my cousin, yeah.
And I imagine there were
of my mother's generation, not mine.
Right. Let's be clear about that. Right. But I imagine that maybe growing up, there were a lot of those influences around you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my orientation as a musician and as a woman or a person was very spiritual. We were taught about, spirituality, our soul and our spirit, and the spirit world very early, meditating at age 3 and having to chant and things like that, and being exposed to different cultures, as well as understanding my African and my lineage was very much, introduced to my family and incorporated in our life. We ate African food, we had Africans at our house, we wore African dress. So I think my identity of who I am, my understanding of who I am, really fostered a certain confidence and a knowing. So when I wrote music and I started singing about things, I had an interesting foundation that is built on spirituality and my ancestors. And so because I think that way, and of course Gil Scott-Heron is like speaking about what's going on, so I was raised with that kind of consciousness, and to be a person that's awake and aware of what's going on in the community, and also being kind and being a person that looks at things and want to leave it better than I found it. That was on the wall. My mother had rules on the wall. Leave things better than you found it. Like, stop, look, listen, think, then do. Like, I remember these things as a child. And so I had a really fun upbringing. A lot of music in the living room. My dad had rehearsals with his band in the living room as a child, and we went to concerts with them. They always took us with them. We didn't have babysitters when they went to concerts. We would go there. I played with Shaka Khan's her daughter, who's the same age as I, when they went to see her. Stevie Wonder was like, "Are there any babies in the audience?" My mother said. And they said, "We have a baby." And he was like, "Thank you for bringing that baby," because, that's how I got introduced to these wonderful artists. So that definitely is my foundation. I also look at artists traditionally are the healers of the community, musicians. And so there's a privilege of being able to channel information from spirit to guide and influence, but also encourage and empower other people, including ourselves. And so I know that, and I work to continue to foster that in my music.
Now, it's very interesting that you mentioned that, because I think internationally, we as African American people don't recognize that, or perhaps they don't see that we recognize that. And I'm wondering, because you do a lot of traveling around the world, do you notice that your audiences feel that, they get that? Is that what they attach themselves to?
Oh, yes, especially internationally, because they're not as influenced by pop culture like Americans. So they definitely look at you as an artist as something special. And they know that it's a gift to be honored, just like a medical doctor or a lawyer or any other field that people respect more or get paid more. They definitely respect your gift. So if you're playing percussion, they're wondering who your lineage is, who taught you, what folklore you might know. If you play guitar, they're wondering who taught you, what is your spiritual path. And so they feel your energy, and specifically like Japan, I would say, we feel your energy like volcano. I've had people say that to me, but they feel who you are and not look at just what you look like. They're looking at your essence, and they want that. They want to be fed versus entertained, exactly. Even though entertainment does help, but they definitely respect it, definitely more so internationally.
And I can imagine, again, they feel the power, because that's one of the things, as the Japanese say, the volcano, I wish we had a bigger space, because you bring the power. I remember going to see you somewhere here in Washington, D.C., and you could see everyone kind of walked out in a trance. I don't know
Really?
what, it was crazy. It was I don't know what just happened, but something just happened. And you don't always get that in popular American music, even soul music. You don't know. Things have changed so much. So
yeah, I think that everyone has their place and their role. Some people are love makers. They're the ones that make you have those babies and help you have the soundtracks for your weddings. Some people are helping you have confidence. And then for me, I look at every show as a ceremony, and what I'm wearing is regalia. And I look at it that seriously, but it's not like I'm taking it seriously like this, but it's more so I know that's my position, and the way I honor the gift that God has given me is to look at every show as ceremony. So if people do leave that way, yay. And, but I want people to feel good. I want people to meet their mates there and feel happy and love themselves. And that's what I desire and pray for before each show.
Well, I just have to tell you something, since you talked about ceremony. I walked down the aisle when I got married to June. The song that you did with Fertile Ground. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I want the audience to sort of see and feel what I'm talking about. So why don't we go into a song? I'm going to kind of let you choose wherever you are right now and do your thing.
The song I want to offer now is by a great woman who I was definitely influenced by, South African woman. They call her Mother Africa, Mary Makeba. And she really epitomizes what I really aspire to be as an artist, as a vocalist, as a person whose name is called out after I'm gone, because I did such wonderful work in the community. So this song is called I'm Home. Zang, sing a la bella la tala la gia la tala la be gia
We've got Navasha Daya inside the Soul Lounge. That was beautiful. So you said that was a song that was originally done by South African artist Miriam Makeba.
Yes.
I remember a while reading something from her and then reading something similar that was said by Angelique Kidjo about understanding the lyrics. And Angelique was very adamant. You don't need to understand the lyrics. You can feel the music. I assume you would agree.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. The goal is to be able to convey past language, and music is a language. Actually, vibration and sound influences us all the time, and people have done studies to make people buy more things or feel love. So I'm definitely a believer and a person that really walks in a way where I understand that music is a language in itself, and that you cannot know the language and feel the energy of the artist or the instrument, the musical instrument, or the vocal instrument, I want to say, when you hear a song. Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Before we went into the song, you talked a little bit about wanting to be remembered for the work that you're doing in the community. And I know that you have been very actively involved in the community. I mean, you're a musician, you're a healer, but you're also an organizer and an activist. And before we started, you were talking about some of the work that you're going to do. Now, you're originally from Cleveland, Ohio,
Cleveland,
which
Ohio.
is in the Midwest. Okay. So talk to me just about the work that you're doing with young people and what inspired that in you.
Well, you know, everyone is responsible to mentor somebody. I think if everyone has a little them, their life will be great, because then they can instill what they've taught. It could be your child, or it could be someone in the community, or a cousin or a niece. For me, I've always been a teacher. My degree is in music education, so I'm always instilling multiculturalism, confidence building, who are you, why are you here, songwriting. And when I taught children in the schools, and in 2010, my husband, Fanan Hill, and I started an organization called the Youth Resiliency Institute. And we started off in a area in Baltimore that's kind of remote and neglected, called Cherry Hill, and we're working in Cherry Hill public homes. And we went there and worked with zero private or public funding. My husband worked a night shift, and I taught music, and we just went there. They had nothing, not a book, a ball, nothing. So I was teaching notation, teaching chants, learning about Kwanzaa, learning who they are. You know, we took them to see the council president of Baltimore. So that is the beginning and the seed of the work that we've done around Baltimore City. And for me, I'm a sucker for a talented child, and I love children. I love everyone, but I do love children. And for me, it's my duty. It's like what I was raised to do. You have to give back. And I found a way to weave that with my professional music career and make myself available to the children. So they don't always know who I am, because they call me by another name, Mrs., you know. And so I say, I'm Miss Navasha Daya. And they'll see a post and they go, you're really a singer. Oh, my God. And so they've come to concerts. I did a concert recently. We made sure some of the children came so they can know who they have at their hands, because you never know who they are. Case in point, you never know who will save your life. You never know who's going to assist you in your time of need when you become an elder. So you always want to look at who they are, feed them what they need, what you can give them, expose them, connect them with other healthy adults, and to see what happens, because you never know who you're with. You don't know who they're going to be in the future. So it's my responsibility when I cross the path of a child to assist in any way I can. So that's how I feel. And now our programming has went to East Cleveland, which is where I'm from. So I get to go home with the babies there and give back in the place that is destitute as well, and give back to them as well.
And that's so important, because here in the States, music education is almost non-existent.
Girl.
And it happened quickly.
On purpose, but anyway.
And we have seen the result of that. And I think for certain segments of the American population, that is so contrary to who we are, because if you go into certain countries in Africa, even places in Asia, music is just a part of life.
Yes.
And to take it out, just, you end up with what
Yes, and you see the children are suffering. They're the ones that are not getting a whole child development. They're not getting all they need. Science and math is important, but music, as we all know, proves to really develop you in a way that's holistic, helps you make good decisions. It keeps you healthy. And so to take out the arts in general, which I'm also with the committee that's fighting and advocating for the arts in Baltimore as well, it's actually equity issue too, because it's happening in a lot of black communities. Baltimore is 69% black, and public school is taken out. They don't have visual art. I have a student who didn't have math. I have for a year of school, math. Wow. They don't have any music, no gym, visual art, drama, nothing. I mean, drama is a little out there, but at least music and visual art is usually everywhere. And so that to happen is like an injustice to the children who are coming behind us, we're going to be elders, and we need them to take care of us and have their mind right. So why are we doing this? This whole teaching and testing, it's all in public school. So if you can afford to take your child to a private school or a cultural school or even a charter school, which is a whole other story why these are popping up, because there's money makers also. It's just really an injustice. So I fight in regards to equity in that as well for the babies.
Well, and I respect that. I think as people who have a little bit of influence and everyone has a talent. It is our responsibility, as you say, to give back.
Yeah.
All right. So your debut EP is called Rebirth Above Ground. Now, this is as a solo artist because we mentioned earlier that you were the co-founder and the lead singer of a group called Fertile Ground.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the difference between being a part of a group and then also being on your own. And I love songwriters. So I'm really very interested in that process, writing songs and
Okay, I'll talk from that perspective.
Okay.
In the group Fertile Ground, I wasn't the only songwriter, so it was less pressure in regards to putting out albums. We had a home studio. We also had access to a university studio for free, actually, by the way. People don't always know that. And we just really just kept making music. And so it wasn't just me carrying the machine. So that was that. But I really enjoyed that part of my life. It brought me to where I am now. It allowed me to travel internationally at 23, straight out of college, and really provide a soundscape or a soundtrack of music for a community in a time where Neo Soul, Erykah Badu, all those people were coming out. Love Jones, the movie, and we were part of that, that movement. And so it was very much an honor for me to have been a part of that as a young woman. Now as a more mature woman, it's nice to come out with my own because I don't have any filters, anyone to answer to in that way. Except God, of course, and I collaborate with my husband, but no one to answer to. So it's like it really authentically shows just me, which can be scary and exciting mixed together. So you're like, hey, it's me. But I've seen now that I've been out independent as a solo artist for 3 years now, that the reception is really awesome, and people are still discovering that I'm a solo artist. So everyone does not know. They're just like, where's the music? So now I like doing a lot myself. I'm becoming, more of a businesswoman, an executive, and being able to assist people coming behind me, and then work with these fine fellows and be more flexible with, artists and musicians. So before I was just performing with that group, and now I have other pools of musicians that always wanted to play with me that I get to work with. So it's very exciting on that level. I look forward to collaborating with some more hip hop artists and stuff. International people just give me a call. I'm always open to create. Just to make. You never know what happens when these two spirits come together to create something. What's going to happen? So I'm very open to that.
Was that a natural progression? Was it scary? Because I know you mentioned you were kind of like, I mean, was that a leap of faith for you?
Yeah, it was circumstantial as well for my sanity and my wealth. I mean, not wealth. Well-being was what I want to say. And so it was scary, though. Yeah, anytime you do something new, I'm a Taurus girl, please. I'm like, ooh, something new. And so for me, I knew it had to happen. And so it happened, and I was like, okay. And it's wonderful. It's been really liberating.
Yeah. And in the first single that I heard from the EP and the video, I saw the video. I don't know, you just seem lighter.
Yeah.
Is that am I seeing right?
Yeah,
okay.
Because when you have transitions in relationships and you in relationships personally and business wise, and you are away, break away from some things that build and become like toxic in some ways, you definitely become more healthy. Yeah. And so for me as a woman, if you think about Tina Turner, a lot of artists, as you know, who are female artists, the industry is very interesting. Women are treated differently here. So I'm very aware of that. The respect, the understanding of, your music, your business, even just mentoring you in that to expect you to be a leader is very rare in the music industry and in most industries. And so I'm very cognizant of making sure that I am being influential of my journey versus someone telling me what to do. I'm not doing that anymore. And so for me, that is the most liberating part of being an example of a woman that's free and a woman that owns her own business. And women, as you know, when you pay a woman, you're paying a family. So I'm taking care of my family with my art like they do as well. And so it's very serious for me in that way. And I'm learning. I'm watching elders who've done it before because we need more balance on the earth. So I really appreciate the opportunity that has come where I can be a solo artist and be, independent.
Well, can we hear something?
Sure.
From the new album?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you choose
Iwa
again.
Pele. So this song is Iwa Pele, and it's Yoruba for gentle character or good character. And it's a song that it really exemplifies who I am as a woman and a person. I've been like this since I was a little girl, wanting people to be happy and stuff. So Iwa Pele. It's not about security, it's about your destiny. It's not about the power you seek, it's about your destiny. Be good, act good, play good, gentle character. Be sweet, be gentle, be kind, gentle character. Moving from control into acceptance. Iwa Pele, be gentle, gentle. Iwa Pele, moving from control into acceptance. Iwa Pele, be gentle, gentle. It's not about not feeling the blues. It's about the words you choose. It's not about your good intentions. It's about the things you mention. Sometimes you have to go inside and reflect. Be still, gentle character. Be sweet, be mindful, be kind, gentle character. Moving from control into acceptance. Iwa Pele, be gentle, gentle. Iwa Pele, moving from control into acceptance. Iwa Pele, be gentle, gentle. Life can dig it, feel it, fit it your way. Be strong with gentle character. In life you can feel it, convey it, and live it, and make it your way. Be wise, be kind. In life you can feel it, convey it, and live it, and make it your way. Be strong with gentle character. In life you can live it, convey it, live it, and make it your way. Be wise, see what better. Moving from control into acceptance. Iwa Pele, be gentle, gentle. Moving from control into acceptance. Iwa Pele, be gentle, 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 gentle.
Navasha Daya, Inside the Soul Lounge, the first single from her debut solo EP, because you've got a lot of records out, but Rebirth Above Ground is the name of the album. Before we got into the song, now you were talking about women in the industry and how challenging it can be for them to be accepted as business people. But I know that controlling one's image is also something that is very difficult for women in this industry. And obviously, because you seem to be an expression of all the things that we've talked about, at least aesthetically, I assume that you have managed to maintain a certain level of control over your image. And I'm wondering, how difficult that has been, if at all. And then I kind of want to get into the aesthetics and what they represent.
So because I'm an independent soul artist and always have been, even with Fertile Ground, I've been able to just develop and grow as a woman, be influenced by different things I see, messages I get from Spirit in regards to what I should wear. And so I've always been able to control my image and just, and I also understood that you should have one, even as an independent artist. And it was, for me, being a cultural-based, spiritual-based person is definitely going to bloom to all that I am in regards to my lineage and my spiritual paths. So for me, being of a mixed heritage of African, Native American, and honorable European, I definitely try to weave that in my clothing to honor my people and to honor, culture in general, because I think that indigenous culture rocks. And that is something that is a solution, and one of the solutions of today's problems and what we're going to. We deal with our culture, know who we are, we have rituals, we do things that keeps you in line with Spirit and your destiny. And if you don't have that, people are going out to gangs, they're looking for somewhere. And so it's something that's missing in regards to being a part of popular culture. Luckily, Erykah Badu, Les Nubian, people like that would do it, but Americans doing it is very important for it to be seen, actually. And so for me, the feathers represent royalty, represents balance, represents my Native American ancestors. The bindis, when I first did it, represented the chakras. And it was interesting because I got really specific, like each color, each shape, and everything initially. This is from Maasai, so it's my African ancestor. This is Yoruba Aleke, which means necklace. This is my punk rock rebellious, bracelet. I'm just trying to think of why I will wear this. And then, white and black represents duality, so I'm wearing that today. And then in regards to, it was something else. I love the aesthetics of natural hair and locks anyway, and I love color. So I've done color in my hair, but I'm keeping it like this for now. But I just feel like we should be able to be expressive in that way. Then also the shape here, this is actually my Hindu path, and it represents that I belong to Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, or to God. And so it's something that we wear as a spiritual marking. So it's not like a look, I'm trying to be cute. It's actually something that I wear definitely in ceremony and at temple, and I wear it when I perform. So that's what I do. And everyone doesn't always know all this, so, thank you for letting me share that with the world. But for me, people have marks and different things and reasons why they wear hats, and it's always a spiritual reason or some reason culturally why you're doing it. And I think that we've moved away from that kind of reasoning versus what's hip. Sagging pants is from prison. Right. So it's like, the honor in that is not there exactly. Yeah. It's just more so a fad. So not to, down all that, but I'm just saying, like, we're definitely needing to kind of have a little more depth in regards to why we do things, I think.
Meaningful adornment.
Yeah.
I think and I like the idea of just kind of letting Spirit dictate.
Oh, it does all the time.
I need to, in front of my closet, like, okay.
That's Spirit. Right. What color today? What should I wear with line with my destiny and my day?
Right. But, I think there's a certain power in that. Like, we joke, but I do personally believe that there is a certain power in that. So, and I've always been very curious. So thank you so much for sharing. All right. So before we get into the last song and wrap up, I have this little game that I play with all of my artists. And I just ask, you are so Midwest. So I have this little game that I play with my artists. And I just ask simple questions. They're music-related questions. Okay. So the first one, we're imagining it's Sunday afternoon. Perhaps you and your husband are cleaning up the house, dusting and all that. What's playing?
Oh, wow. Reggae.
Okay.
I grew up listening to reggae to clean, too. But reggae or maybe Art Blakey or, jazz.
Okay. It is Saturday night. And you and your husband are enjoying some time together.
Oh, okay.
What's playing?
For me, it's Prince. Okay. And, oldies but goodies, soul songs. Oh, man. Let me think. What else? Lakeside. Midwest.
Okay.
Joni Mitchell, maybe. Okay. A lot of old R&B soul, though. So classic soul, like elders listen to. We listen to a lot of that. My husband's an old man. So we love, those are the old classic with juicy music, with great arrangements and things like that. So we love listening to that kind of music as well.
Okay. All right. And then, we all have those moments when we feel down. For me,
I'm sorry. To clarify, he just made a good point. My husband is not old. He just likes music like elders like. Okay. So I want to clear that for the word.
He has an old soul.
Old soul.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's not get you in trouble now. Exactly. Okay, so when we're feeling down, sometimes things can get heavy. Yeah. And I know for me, honestly, you and Fertile Ground, and there are a couple of other artists who bring me up, who lift my spirit. in those moments, who do you go to, or what do you go to?
Like, period. I definitely do chanting. I go to the shower. I sing in the shower. Singing in the shower really helps me a lot because water is very healing. And then singing, the vibration of my voice not only assists other people, as they may say, it actually helps me. So when I perform, the ritual of moving around and dancing helps me heal and become more balanced and remember who I am and why I came here. So that, and I sing certain songs like that have meaning, like Sheila Chandra, she's Indian body, and Awaken to Your Power. I think it's called that, but I'm not sure it's Sheila, but love to meet her one day. But and then I listen to Yolanda Adams. Songs that deal with give it to God kind of subject matters. I listen to a Yoruba or African chanting song that makes you dance and get the spirit to shake yourself out of that consciousness you have that is limiting your view of the possibilities and the blessings you have. That's what I try to do. Shake, dance, dancing and singing help me to get live and happy and just whew.
We need to have you back later when we can get you in the auditorium. Like, seriously, I want folks to see what this whole experience looks like. Because even as you were sitting down, I'm thinking to myself,
I don't usually sing. I don't usually
sit
and sing usually, no.
So, but you did a wonderful job. Thank you so much. How about you introduce your fellas on either side of you?
We have Leroy Boogie. We're on percussion, wonderful percussionist. And we have Matthew Chase on guitar.
Thank you all so much for coming, and I will just let you take us out.
Okay.
And
we're going to do a song.
Your choice, artist choice.
Galactic Soul is a song about channeling the music down from you, and it's from my new EP.
All right.
Ba-dum. Ba-ba-ba-doo, bow, bow, ba-da, ba-dow. Bow, 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 ba-ba-doo, ba-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-ba-ba-doo-dow. Liquid soul, manifested in sounds of light. Spirit glows, giving the world inside. Fresh mic, fresh pen, and I begin to share myself with the world again. Don't you wanna come and move your body free to the galactic soul? I'm talking about galactic soul. Soulfully connected, meditating, emancipating, galactic soul. Talking about galactic soul. Waves of brilliant music and shimmering melodies. Let's get down and roll outside of space and time. Ba-dum. Power of three, let it be. The source of life. Ether's friends begin again, reminding us of our story. All the hope and glory. Don't you wanna come and move your body free to the galactic soul? Talk about galactic soul. Soulfully connected, breathtaking, emancipating, galactic soul. I'm talking about galactic soul. Waves of brilliant music and shimmering melodies. Woo! When I lay down, I swing and shout and dance to the galactic beat. Solar prancing, moonlight rises, feeling so good on my feet. Beyond space and time, I feel fine, walking in the now. All my human, hear me shout it out, galactic soul. Woo! We're here now, and it's time to get down to the galactic beat. Ba-dum. Oh, I'm talking about galactic soul. I'm talking about galactic soul. We're soulfully connected, breathtaking, emancipating, galactic soul. I'm talking about galactic soul. Waves of brilliant movement and shimmering melodies. I'm talking about galactic soul. Woo! Galactic soul. Soulfully connected, breathtaking, emancipating, galactic soul. I'm talking about galactic soul. Waves of brilliant music and shimmering melodies.
Thank you so much, Navasha. I appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you so much for joining us inside the Soul Lounge. Until next week, please take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.